You're Monday afternoon, back from my hand injury. I'm still vibing. I'm well. Ready to react. Just going through the motions. Hand still kind of hurt when I open and close it, but we still robbing. We still vibing. Even my thumb is messed up. We still going through the motions. I'm not gone. I just had to step back for a little bit, but I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go. Picking up where I left off. I was gonna do this video a lot earlier. I promise you that, but we're here today, and we're just gonna get into the reaction. Alright. So with that being said, what's good? Welcome back to Civilsuit Reactions, only on the FlexiMind Network. I'm the original Anomaly. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this reaction. I know it's late, but I'm still here and I'm still ready to get to this. Alright. So with that being said, let's not waste no more time. Let's go straight into this because I did predict this. Alright. The details into that file, or not the file, but the witness, there was a lot of inconsistencies, and I did predict it. So let's see what Deleted has to say. Shout out to Deleted. Appreciate you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep vibing. Keep riding. Keep up that grind. We want to see you shine. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. I talk too much. Y'all know I talk too much. So let's go. Let's go into this one. All right, let's go. Talk to me, Deleted.
Alright, so Jay-Z found himself in a crazy situation. He was recently accused of doing some strange things with a cupcake. Nah, not a real cupcake. If you're lost and not a part of the other side of YouTube, let me go ahead and give you some context of what cupcake means. It's a term that
oh my god,
pathetic YouTubers to ever exist coined. Because when he was caught up meeting with someone that's not age appropriate, he lied and said he was trying to buy cupcakes. I guess that baby Beluga just really wanted some cupcakes. So this accusation is actually a lawsuit. It was filed by a man named Tony Busby. Remember him because we will later touch back on that. Pause. Jay-Z, billionaire rap mogul, is now tangled in allegations that reads like the plot of a twisted crime drama. But let's really unpack the nightmare. Let's unpack it, because I honestly don't buy into a lot of things without solid proof. I need the evidence, I need the facts. The evidence they refuse to show or talk about in the media when it comes to this
Lord, goodness God.
The way they're refusing to drop receipts is low-key sketchy as hell. But hold up, we'll get into that later, right after we break down what's exactly going on. And before I tap in, remember this in mind. The year is 2000. Where rap was not even the leading genre at the time. It was a mere category at an award show. And sometimes they were able to battle for Album of the Year.
The 2000 MTV Video Music Awards with hosts Sean and Marlon Wayans are up.
Wow.
Performance by Eminem, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Blink-182, Nelly, Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Cisco, Janet Jackson, and Christina Aguilera.
They didn't have control like they do now. And this is when labels in Hollywood had full authority of anyone and everybody. Diddy and Jay-Z were not the big moguls they are today. They were celebrities, yes. Were they powerful? Not even close. Not in the year 2000. Now, maybe powerful in the streets, maybe powerful in inner circles and, things like that, but they weren't moving nothing like that in Hollywood. They weren't. Jay-Z's The Blueprint album haven't even dropped yet, and Diddy was in the midst of rebranding Bad Boy. Mind you, Diddy was hot, and I don't mean the kind of hot that you guys probably are used to saying, like somewhat hot, like they're on top. I'm talking about hot as in the feds was watching. Diddy was awaiting trial for his 1999 Club New York shooting. The trial began on January 29th.
The one with Shine.
And the trial ended March 16th, 2001. Besides all that, the point I'm trying to make is that Diddy had eyes on him. During the time this alleged assault took place, we got to take that in consideration because the feds is watching. So he was in rebrand mode with him changing his name from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy, and that's just for some context. All right, I'm going to try to tell this like a story. We're going to try to read this like it's story time, like it's reading Rainbow.
Oh my God.
Without the rainbow. We don't want the rainbow. Unless it's Skittles. Skittles is pretty good.
What is happening?
Starburst too. Starburst is good. I like chocolate more though. I'm a chocolate guy. It's the year 2000. MTV VMAs were the hottest ticket in the city. Outside the glitter and the glow of Radio City Music Hall, a 13-year-old girl that we will call Jane Doe is plotting her way.
So from the last video I posted, there were some comments that I saw where it's like a lot of young girls sneak out all the time. That might be true, and shout out to you if you do that. But this is the VMAs we're talking about. Okay, you can't just get into the VMAs. How you gonna sneak out and you have a friend? Who is your friend dropping you off to this awards show? That's the part I don't get. There's too many inconsistencies within this story. It doesn't make sense. And even if y'all say that, sneaking out cool, you're gonna sneak out to see friends. You don't sneak out to go to an award show. If you lost your mind, that doesn't make any sense. That's not a real story. That's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not realistic. I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's just, nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that story at all.
Into the after party scene. No ticket, no connections, just hope. She's wandering among the parked limousines, asking drivers if anyone can get her in. And then one driver, let's call him Mr. Predatory Opportunist, I guess, steps up with a grin and a deal. He tells her, I'm driving Diddy. There's a party later. And trust me, you're exactly his type. Yeah, let that sink in. This man knows her age, and he still sets the trap, allegedly. She doesn't see the red flags, though. She just hears Diddy and thinks she's made it. The driver promises to pick her up after dropping off his VIPs, and Jane, desperate to be a part of the scene, agrees. True to his word, the driver returns and takes her to a sprawling mansion. U-shaped driveway, glitzy cars parked out front, the whole 9 yards. When they arrive, she was handed a piece of paper, a non-disclosure agreement. Imagine this, a 13-year-old girl being coerced into signing away her silence before she can even step inside. But she's too young and too eager to grasp the gravity of what's even happening, so she signs and walks in and is greeted by chaos. Celebrities are everywhere, booze flowing like a waterfall and drugs casually sprinkled into the mix like the party favors. The scene is straight out of a Hollywood fever dream, the way it's described. Jane
Literally.
Who's trying to blend in when someone hands her a drink. She takes a sip, and almost instantly the world starts spinning. Her head's pounding, her vision's blurry, and she's sinking fast. Feeling weak and disoriented, she stumbles into a bedroom to lie down. And there's no rest for the wicked. This is where the nightmare truly begins. Moments later, the door opens, and in walks Diddy, jayz, and an unnamed female celebrity. Jane is vulnerable.
Definitely call it as J-Lo.
Diddy, in all his chaotic glory, reportedly starts taunting her, yelling, "You ready to party?" as he shakes her. He allegedly does this as if what's about to happen is just another night of fun.
One thing I do like to know when it comes to the victim is we need a picture of you back then. We need to know how tall you are, as well as, well, that's mainly it, just the height and what you look like. Because I don't believe your story. I don't believe people are just going to pick you up just like that. It doesn't make sense. So I would love to have a picture and what the height is of this individual. I need those two pieces of information to help me better understand this story.
Jay-Z allegedly takes the lead
because it's a lot of headcanon.
Whatever shred of safety she thought she had left. The details are so
oh my
gruesome,
God.
a horror story no one should ever have to endure. So I won't get into details of what happened. But then right after Jay-Z, Diddy joins next. While the female celebrity, someone Jane might have looked up to once, stand there and watches, in silent and complicit. Jane is trapped, but somewhere in the haze she finds this spark of resistance. She fights back, hitting Diddy hard enough to startle him. It's enough of a distraction.
Definitely don't believe that shit.
For her to escape. She grabs her clothes, bolts out the room, and runs through the party half dressed, terrified and humiliated. And the worst part, no one helps her. Not one person steps in, they just watch, allegedly. Barefoot and trembling, Jane finally makes it to a nearby gas station. A clerk sees her a mess of tears and desperation and hands her a phone. She calls her dad, choking out the words, "I snuck out, please come get me." Her father arrives, furious and heartbroken, but the damage is already done. This night will haunt Jane for the rest of her life. And now, over 2 decades later, she's stepping forward to hold her alleged abusers accountable. Now, this is all alleged. I just wanted to...
with a civil suit.
...the view of what Jane Doe is basically saying that allegedly happened. Enter Tony Busby, the attorney who's behind the accusations. Tony wasn't playing around. He went full throttle, declaring, "Screw it, I'm suing everybody." His rise to fame started when Diddy faced a storm of legal troubles. Tony made it his mission to hunt down anyone who wronged his clients and slap Diddy with them lawsuits. I mean, he made it a mission after the 40 mil was paid to Cassie, if you want to be real. But, I mean, he still did it. He even hinted that more names would be added to the pile. And this part right here is really, really important for y'all to remember. I want you guys to really focus on this particular part. But this lawsuit that's going on right now was already filed against Diddy before. But the old lawsuit left out Jay-Z's name in the original documents. So make sure you guys remember that. Fast forward and surprise, surprise, the next name on his list was Jay-Z. He files a civil lawsuit in New York, naming Diddy and Jay-Z as co-defendants. The allegations are explosive, painting a picture of betrayal, power, exploitation, and cupcakes. Before going public, Tony legally informed Jay-Z about the claims, essentially saying, look, we don't have to drag this out, just pay my client, and it all goes away. But Jay-Z, oh, he's not taking this lying down. He ain't with it. He ain't bending over for nobody. He fires back immediately, calling the lawsuit a money grab, accusing Bugsby of blackmail. Jay-Z argues, if these accusations were real, why isn't this a criminal case?
Facts.
Why go for money instead of justice? He basically wanted to know why you filing it.
But at the same time, in the video I did say taking money from somebody is the new justice. People have gotten, the world, not people, the world has gotten so greedy to the point where justice isn't good enough anymore. They want to see harm done to a person, or to take their funds, to take their pretty much take their bank account and leave them in a tough spot because of their actions. The new justice is money in today's society. Taking money from somebody like that is justice, absolutely. So keep that in mind too.
A civil suit trying to come from my bag, because if I really did it, why wouldn't you press charges and take this to a criminal justice courtroom? And here's where things get even darker. Busby, I don't even know if I'm saying his name. Is it Bugsby or Busby? Am I saying this shit right? Busby claims Jay-Z's team started playing dirty, sending people to investigate Jane and intimidate her. Calls, visits, vile threats. It's like a real-life chess game where the stakes are someone's life and dignity. People were reportedly sent to watch Tony and dig up dirt on him and his client. Tony was unfazed though. Who do you think you're intimidating? He shot back. Then the plaintiff called Tony, claiming she was being investigated too. For Tony, this was the last straw. So Tony doesn't back down. He goes public, dragging Jay-Z's name through the mud, and now the court of public opinion is in session. Social media erupts. Fans are divided. Is Jay-Z the predator Busby points him to be? Or is this just a calculated smear campaign to tarnish this guy's legacy? I do want to highlight that when Tony threatened to out this whole scandal, Jay-Z's response was to do it. He literally said, do it. You're not getting a dime from me. The battle lines were drawn. Tony and the plaintiff announced the lawsuit, and Jay-Z doubled down, refusing to get blackmailed. I mean, Jay-Z's even saying that he had to sit his daughter down with his wife and explain to her how sick individuals come after you for money, and they will literally tarnish your name and your image just for a bag. Now, let's make sure we get one thing straight. This is a civil trial, not a criminal one. If it were a criminal trial, the police...
But once it comes to the court of public opinion, all hell breaks loose. So that's another problem in itself. So
would have to dig into evidence from 24 years ago, which is pretty thin by now. They turned to witnesses like the limo driver, the gas station clerk, and the unnamed female celebrity. The driver and the clerk didn't see the alleged incident, but could provide context. And the real wild card, the female celebrity. If she corroborates the claims, Jay-Z and Diddy could be in hot water. So here's the thing about civil trials. Witnesses don't have to say a word. Why go against someone with Jay-Z's resources and power? And with Jay-Z's elite legal team, the odds of losing are high. So why sue if you're likely to lose? It boils down to reputation. Whether Jay-Z is guilty or not, the only real leverage in these cases is public perception.
Yep.
A deposition could force Jay-Z to answer uncomfortable questions, the kind that can stain reputations forever.
Yep.
This is why high-profile
Foxy
figures
Brown
often settle. But Jay-Z knows the game. If he pays once, he risks opening the floodgates for more lawsuits.
Yep.
So he's fighting back, betting his reputation on the court's outcome. For now, it's a high-stakes waiting game to see how this saga unfolds. His reputation is already bleeding. The headlines are relentless, the memes are brutal, and the whispers about what really happens behind the velvet ropes of fame are louder than ever. Whether he's guilty or not, the damage is done. So here we are, watching a billionaire fight to protect his empire while a survivor fights to reclaim her voice. At this point, it's a tale as old as time. Power corrupts, and when the mighty fall, they crash hard. And the truth, it's out there somewhere, buried beneath the lawsuits, the PR statements, and the alleged accusations. But until it comes to light, this story will only get darker. At this point, to keep it lit, you guys are just asking for mass incarceration of black artists. Over the years, I've never seen so many people wanting and yearning for people to be evil. Gossip, conspiracy theories, and being guilty by association. That's all it takes for people to root for the demise of someone's legacy. I have yet to see anyone provide facts. I came across a couple of threads online, and I started to do my own research. And according to some of the timestamps, everything seems a bit off. So the MTV VMAs 2000 started at 8 p.m. Eastern. The show lasted 3 hours.
See, this is the important information that we need. So let's go.
In 10 minutes, wrapping up exactly around 11 p.m. Assuming the after party kicks off right around the time at 11 p.m., we'll use that as our starting point. According to Jane Doe's original statement, she didn't have tickets to the event, so she stayed outside watching the show on the Jumbotron. It's unclear whether she stayed to watch the entire show, but Jane Doe later mentioned that she began searching for ways to get into an after party, approaching limousines in the process. Now, remember the part I told you guys to remember, that this lawsuit was filed twice, but with changes. In the original claim, which did not include Jay-Z's name, Jane Doe stated that the driver instructed her to return to that spot at 9:30 p.m. However, the award show started at 8 p.m. and didn't end until 11 p.m. By 9:30 p.m., the show was still in full swing, with everyone inside the venue. Now, in the updated lawsuit that included Jay-Z's name, Tony B made sure to remove the driver's original claim about meeting at 9:30 p.m. It seems this was done knowing the timeline wouldn't add up, as all the celebrities were still inside the venue attending the award show at that time. How ironic. Diddy attended an after party that night at Twirl. It was said that that after party was hosted by NSYNC, but Jay-Z was not seen at that event. In fact, both were reportedly at two different nightclubs during the time Jane Doe claimed she was at the house party she described. It's important to point out that the after party Jay-Z attended wasn't at a house. It was at
Okay, so going based off of this information now, let's say this is true. There has been many cases, mainly with Kendrick Lamar, that they mixed up the faces, or I don't know, someone out there just making up stories. But it's definitely a case of like they might have got faces mixed up. So if this is true, Diddy's name is still attached to this, and J-Lo supposedly is also attached to this too. Now, my thing is, who back then looked like Jay-Z? Because a lot of times people get people confused, especially in traumatic experiences. For all I care, it could have been another security guard on Diddy's team. Consider that. But at the same time, I don't want to consider this story true. So a lot of it's null and void, especially with this segment called The Evidence They Refuse to Show.
nightclub in downtown.
So what's up now?
Hosted by Eminem and Dr. Dre. The venue didn't have a driveway or a living room as Jane Doe described, and it was most likely an invite-only event. An NSYNC blog website confirms that Diddy and Aaliyah were not at the same after party as Jay-Z. It states, party guests included Destiny's Child, Marlon Wayans, Shawn Wayans, Keenen Ivory Wayans, Mark Wahlberg, Blink-182, Britney, Busta, Jermaine Dupri, Usher, Aaliyah, all the MTV VJs, Darren Henson, Pink, Wade Robinson, Johnny Wright, Nelly, Puffy, Jennifer Lopez, and many, many more. And as you can see, there was no mention of Jay-Z being at that party with them. I seen people even having the weird theory about Aaliyah being the woman who watched, and that's why she passed away the following year. Aaliyah didn't go to the
J-Lo
nightclub, and she was also with her brother Rashad that night, who are both very close. They attended the Twirl after party together, which is confirmed by the pic references and again the NC blog website. I really hate y'all motherfuckers. I ain't gonna hold. Y'all get on my nerves with these theories, man. I mean, the way you think you're helping Aaliyah is just cruel as hell to her family and friends. All this conspiracy shit because of a has-been that's mad she didn't get her shine. She all of a sudden wants to make conspiracy theories about everyone. And y'all eat that shit up. With her being semi-right about Diddy, that doesn't mean shit. You throwing craps all day, eventually you're gonna hit the jackpot. You're gonna hit the 7-Eleven eventually, right? It's crazy because you act like these people have so much pull to destroy other celebrities, but then why didn't they destroy Jaguar's dumbass? The Jay-Z Instagram fan page posted a pic of Jay-Z in 2022 stating he was at the Lotus nightclub as well, with a recent comment from someone claiming they were a photographer at the event. They also stated that they didn't witness Jay-Z around Diddy at all. So one commenter says, because after hour parties don't go all night long, because he did go from one party to the next, because people didn't already say that Diddy parties are still going at 7 a.m. He didn't. I was working for a prominent paper and I did the write-up for that night. He never went to an after party, and Diddy didn't host a party that night. They were at a Manhattan club called Lotus that night. Diddy was in a private section. Jay-Z was never in his section, nor were they hanging out. Diddy later was spotted entering his New York townhome with Jennifer Lopez at 3 a.m. alone. We ran the photos. In fact, you can Google them. There's zero truth to this bullshit story, and it's easily proven, thankfully, which is why he's calling out the accuser. Also, Lotus nightclub had the off-duty police officers as bouncers, and they never let in a 13-year-old girl, nor would they. She claimed it was a party at his house, but he didn't have a mansion back in 2000. Diddy lived in an exclusive townhouse on Park Avenue in New York City that he bought in 1990.
Yo, shut this whole story down. I'm going to have to start sending this video out to people because this is bullshit. Why are they trying to do this to dude? Now, I'm not saying he's innocent, but at the same time, if you're going to put out a story, it not only has to be believable, but at the same time, it has to be true. Like, your details are not adding up. It's ridiculous.
Everything about her story so far doesn't line up. She said a party at Diddy's mansion when we had a townhouse. She said after party at a house, the after party was at a club, and then everyone went their separate ways. And Diddy was photographed entering his townhouse with J-Lo after leaving Lotus nightclub. Now, I went and looked.
This person just sounds delirious.
I couldn't find it. I'm not saying this person is lying, but this is 24 years ago. It could be labeled and tagged something completely different. So if you guys could find that photo, please let me know. Send it to me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You gotta remember, this is so long ago that photo might be tagged under something completely different. So this comment is the only comment besides Jane Doe's statement who places Jay-Z and Diddy in the same building. The references I've shown places them at two very different locations with zero pictures showing them together. And as far as these two pictures going around the internet, you can't be certain it's in the same exact place. One pic could have been taken at Twirl and the other could have been taken at Lotus. So where was Beyonce on the night of the VMAs? She was with Destiny's Child at Moomba, attending a high-profile party hosted by Tommy Mottola. Moomba, a well-known restaurant, was the spot for exclusive invite events.
God, their makeup is terrible.
Was also present with her in the group, keeping an eye on them. Even though they were in their early 20s, she was doing exactly what a responsible parent would do. A few websites that have pictures show the proof that all suspects were all at different locations after the VMAs. I'm gonna leave y'all the direct links to these images in the description for you to see for yourselves, because these references, these pictures places Jay-Z, Diddy, Beyonce, and Aaliyah at 3 different locations. locations at the same time, debunking the social media conspiracy surrounding Beyonce and Aaliyah. And it also goes against Jane Doe's statement of Jay-Z and Diddy leaving together before the limo came back to pick her up. There was no house. These were nightclubs. Jay-Z and Diddy could have later been at the same location eventually. However, there's no picture evidence, and with the commenters stating that they were never seen around each other is exactly what all the pictures implies. They would have definitely snapped a picture of Jay-Z and Diddy talking. Whoever was taking all these pictures would have definitely snapped that picture. The claim states that the victim accepted a drink from a waiter, which is a critical detail because the lawyer alleges that Jay-Z laced her drink. The file claim specifically says she took the drink from a waiter who was walking around serving them. This detail remains consistent in both the original and updated versions of the claim regarding the drinks. A few days after all this drama transpired, Jay-Z was seen out with his family for the premiere of Mufasa, his daughter Blue Ivy and wife Beyonce.
Why she put her arms like that?
Blue Ivy debuting as Kiara, Simba's daughter. I seen a lot of weirdos saying how they should have stayed at home, how they shouldn't even have went, or how this is a PR stunt. Man, I wouldn't give a fuck what people had to say about me or what they thought of me. I'ma show up for my kids regardless. That's my child, my firstborn's debut movie. You think I'm not gonna show up and represent her? Come on now. The NFL also has released a statement since then, stating that they do not plan on splitting their partnership with Jay-Z, which I think is good. That's great, because I'm tired of people destroying careers before proven guilty. Y'all don't even wait for the court dates anymore. Y'all just say
Jay-Z's too powerful.
They even say he's guilty. This entire situation is deeply unfortunate. If it turns out that Jay-Z is innocent, which the evidence I've presented seems to support, it's troubling that public opinion now holds so much power over determining someone's guilt, more so than evidence. The way y'all stay labeling anyone you don't vibe with as demonic or corrupted is wild. The obsession with turning everyone into PDFs. Meanwhile, people like Tony Busby are out here securing the bag because they know public perception is dummy-ass gullible. The media eats this shit up, and they use it to cancel people with zero receipts to back it. Now, before y'all Drake fans come in here and say, yeah, see, we told you, no, this is different. Let me tell you why it's different. I'm going to say it real quick, because this is not a Drake video. It's different because we seen Drake lip-locking and groping a 17-year-old girl. She
that part?
I'm 17, and he proceeded to be disgusting on a video that we seen. Not a picture where you could misconstrue and add on things that really didn't happen.
Brother.
Inspired. It wasn't a picture, it was a video. And you have a whole nother video with Millie Bobby Brown stating that she was a teenager and this 30-year-old was texting her he missed her. Talked about boys with her. Y'all don't have video evidence of Jay-Z doing any of this. Y'all go off of he say, she say. Y'all go off of pictures of Aaliyah who is already of age. The same body language that Aaliyah was doing with Diddy and Jay-Z, she did with Genuine,
Yep.
she did with DMX,
Yep.
Timberland. I
Yep.
could legit pull up a million pictures of Aaliyah doing the same pose with a whole bunch of other artists.
Yup.
Hugging and leaning on them the same way she did in those pictures.
That's a crazy photo.
She did with other men, the same age.
The fact that Jet Li is in that, bro.
Who was really a part of that era? Who really remembers that era?
Oh my
Even
God.
know that's just who Aaliyah was. She hugged everybody, and she was of age in all these photos. You guys just don't like that she was a part of their friend group. She was. That was her friend group. That was her
Oh
little
my God.
squad. Jay-Z says this himself in the I Miss You track after she passed away, how she was a part of their team.
We used to party hot. We used to be in the Hamptons party a lot. We was the Breakfast Club. You was the part of the rock.
She's seen with them everywhere. That's why she's in a dozen pictures with these guys. Y'all just
Oh my God!
Y'all ever thought that maybe
On stage?
Like, be for real. Have you guys ever thought about that? That it can't be everybody.
How you gonna bubble our man on? Oh my God!
Y'all some Oprah Winfrey's just throwing guilties to everybody. Make it make sense. I mean, everything I just showed is public information. It's all Googleable, if that's even a word. With all that, and also Jay-Z asking for it to go to a criminal case instead of a civil suit, which is basically only for money instead of incarceration. For this lawsuit to be filed twice with changes, the time's not adding up, and everyone involved were at separate locations at one point. Is this a money grab and an old-fashioned finesse, or did it really happen? I'll let y'all decide. Y'all ain't about to get me caught up.
Shout out to Deleted for breaking it down, letting us know that this is cap. Now, he didn't say it was cap, but I wasn't born yesterday. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the fact that all the people involved in this party were all in separate buildings shuts down this whole case. This civil suit. Because you want money out of it. Shuts the whole thing down. The whole thing is shut down. Completely. I just find it hilarious that this is what you're going to use. This is the story that you have to try and take down Jay-Z. I'm not defending anybody. I'm not trying to stand on sides. All I do is listen to the information, and if there's an outlier that literally says da-da-da-da-da, which is everybody involved was in different buildings, I'm going to have to shut down your case because there's no point to me listening to you anymore. You understand what I'm saying? But, hey, you know, good luck to you. More power to you. Godspeed type shit. You know, with that being said, this is Single City Reactions only on the Flexing Mind Network. Take care, be well, be safe, stay true, be you, live long, and long live. Peace. You know, I really don't like liars. I really don't like liars at all. Like,